Hello everybody, I'm Tora, this is Tora Gaming, and welcome to This Week at Bungie, the TWAB, or TWAB, I guess, if you're a Bungie employee. Anyways, this is the This Week at Bungie TWAB that they just released just earlier today, and I wanted to give a quick review of it. Not review, that's not the right word. I'm going freeform, so my apologies, but I just wanted to give a quick overview. That's the word I was looking for. A quick overview of it because, well, I'm sure I'm not the person you're going to go to for a review of the TWAB. You're going to go to the Black Link because he has the best voice in all of YouTube, period. Except maybe CinemaSins, but that's a close tie. That's a close fight. But anyways, I just wanted to give my quick opinions because I do, in fact, have opinions about this. I don't normally have too many hard opinions about the TWAB. It's just like, oh, that's cool. But this week there's some really, really cool stuff I want to go over. So let's just go through. First of all, this looks absolutely amazing, and we're going to see more about that down below. But that's not the main story. That's just by the way. So let's get this started, huh? This Week at Bungie from 5/17/2018. Other words, May 17th. I had to think about that. That's really sad. This week at Bungie, we watched Guardians become legends, which is an amazing line, by the way. Players have climbed the ranks of competitive Crucible and earned the title of Legend, which is like a literal thing. Yes, they did a link. Great. Okay. Clean Redeemed earned the title of World First for the third time in a Destiny game. Good on Redeem, by the way. When overcoming challenges found in the Spire of Stars raid layer, numerous fire teams have completed the 7 waves in Escalation Protocol. This last week has been one to remember. I completely agree with that. One of the best things about Destiny, really. The memories are forged in the fires of combat. They're really good at these awesome lines. Memories forged in the fires of combat. It's been an absolute pleasure to see these experiences unfold, and we're excited to see more of these stories shared throughout the community. Okay, I'm just going to go give an overview now, not read through the whole thing. They released the development roadmap. If you haven't seen that, they did it. You should totally check it out. They see the stuff they released in Warmind. This is stuff coming in, I believe, like, just over 2 weeks from the time I'm recording this. With Crucible Labs, which is like a PTR thing. Just go watch, like, I don't know, Blacklink or Houndish's video. Does Blacklink have a video on it? I think yes, I watched it earlier. Go watch somebody else. They did a much better job at summarizing that. I'm here for the other stuff. Powerful progress. Progress? I'm leaving that in. Powerful progress. Feedback never stops. Feedback never stops. That line, in combination with everything they're saying here, proves something that Bungie has said they've been doing for a long time, and nobody's really believed them. Nobody's really believed Bungie when they say that they are listening. But now, with Warmind and everything that surrounded it, basically everything from the Community Summit and the announcement of the Community Summit up until now, and hopefully into the future, has been proof that Bungie does listen. And now, they're not just listening, they're acting on it. And here with this, they're beginning to give us actual proof. Like, they're saying, this is what you guys are saying, and we're like, yes, that is what we are saying. And they're like, yes. We know, because we are listening. We have people. I would be surprised if they didn't have people literally hired just to do that. Like, not even just like the community managers, like DMG and Bungie. Or Bungie. Is DMG is the community manager? I don't know. I just see him a lot on Twitter. Anyways, let's move on. Warmind is out, and this is Daniel. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. One of the areas I'd like to talk about a bit is progression. Progression. Like the big word. Progression is the big word for Warmind. Progression slowed down in Warmind, but there's a lot of complaints about how it works. Heroic strikes are a great example of something we definitely want to keep iterating on. In the May 29th update, you'll see a small change to help make these better. Escalation Protocol key fragments will become a 100% drop chance from each heroic strike. This was a surprise to me. This wasn't something I was really like, oh, they have to make Escalation Protocol key fragments become 100% drop from each heroic strike. No, I honestly didn't think about that. But it kind of hits two problems with one stone, because while I haven't done a ton of Escalation Protocol, what I have done has shown me that if you don't get the key, if you don't get lucky enough to get a key, you're kind of screwed. Even if you get completely, like, carried by a team all the way through all 7 rounds, if you don't have a charged key, or 2 non-charged keys and a charged key, you're not getting all the loot. And that sucks, because you can go through and do everything, and you just don't have the right key, and you don't get anything. Key fragments becoming a 100% drop from a heroic strike hits those 2 things with 1 stone. It doesn't completely solve everything to do with heroic strikes, and it doesn't completely solve the problem with not having Escalate Protocol key fragment keys. I don't even know how to say that now, words. But it solves... It helps both of them, and the key fragment problem is not really a problem, it's just a thing that you kind of have to deal with, and not really something that anybody cares about. But the heroic strike is something that everybody cares about, and that we are all very happy that they're recognizing, which is the big thing, they're recognizing it, and they're doing something about it. This is not huge. This is not going to completely change the game and make it, like, perfect. It's not even going to completely solve the problem with heroic strikes, but it is a step in the right direction. And that's, like, I think that's the best way of describing Bungie recently. They're taking steps in the right direction. And then here is a direct answer, almost a direct answer to basically what people have been complaining about with heroic strikes. Heroic strikes will be able to drop better rewards. Every 3 to 5 heroic strikes, which I think is actually a pretty good number. Like, you don't get a good reward every strike, otherwise you just go in and go out until you get a perfect strike with the correct modifiers. But every 3 to 5 heroic strikes will drop a legendary that can carry you up to 360 power before mods, so 365 with it. This should better align the rewards of heroic strikes with the difficulty of the activity, and help solo players have a more reliable source of upgrades, which is them, again, recognizing that solo players exist and need help. Well, not need help, but they need... Bungie is giving solo players attention, which, as a primarily solo player myself, I do use groups, but I play a lot of solo as well, and that's good that they recognize it and are saying, we see you solo players, we want to help you. And we won't be having any time to make changes to what's coming on the 29th, so please let us know how you feel about these rates. It is good information to inform future updates. Well, here's what I think about those rates. I think they're good. I won't know for sure until I play it, but I think 3 to 5 heroic strikes is good. It means that's like what? On the low end, 30 to 50 minutes. The high end, maybe like twice that-ish. Because a good, easy heroic strike will take about 10 to 15 minutes. If it's difficult, like Void Burn on whatever the heck Vex Curse of Osiris name that I can't think of, because Curse of Osiris that is just destroying everyone today and yesterday. I don't know. But, like, that's like 10 to 15 minutes, and then on the high end, 20 to 25 minutes. So 3 to 5 heroic strikes, that's like, at minimum, about 30 minutes. At most, maybe like a couple hours-ish. That's a good amount of grinding, I'd say. Maybe drop it a little bit, maybe like 2 to 4. But I think 3 to 5 is good, and we'll have to see how it works. Okay, the next paragraph. We're tracking some additional issues that I don't have immediate solutions, but that I want to bring up as things that we're thinking and talking about, which is the thing I'm liking. Like, that's the whole reason I like this. I think that's a good place to stop and say, this is the reason that I'm liking this update. That's the reason I like this TWAB, and the reason I'm making a video on it at all. The reason I'm bothering to make a video on it is because I want to bring them up as things we're thinking and talking about. They're directly telling us that they are talking and thinking about this thing. Like, mind blown, right? Like, they're telling us that not only do they know that this is a problem, these things, all of them, are problems, but they are talking and working on solutions, and while it will take a long time, weeks, months, to come up with true solutions to this, to all of these things, they're talking about it, and they're starting now, and the earlier you start, the earlier you finish. And that's a big deal. That's something that we need to know. So thank you, Bungie, for telling us. So just go through a quick list. How to smooth out the transition into endgame grind once the campaign is over. Currently there's a brick wall. Players seem to be running into it. 345. I love the way they word that. They seem to be running into the brick wall. Like, I don't know why they don't notice it's there, but they just seem to be running into it. I don't know why. Nah, I'm joking. And yes, goes from super fast to super frictioned. One of the areas we definitely don't believe is perfect, so we're looking at how to smooth this transition out. That's good. Look at it. Work on it. Keep talking about it. And then milestones, and talking about grinding and how the milestones will help our being too relied on for that. And then they mention weapon randomization and records, which are both things that are talked about in the development roadmap that you should totally go and see somebody else's video about. Because I'm not going to talk about all of that. That's not why I'm here. Engram progression needs more tiers, which is something that they mention here. Something I definitely wouldn't expect a solution for prior to September, but it is on our radar. So basically, like, this is something that they don't even expect or should expect a solution for months. But they're talking about it, and they want us to know that they're talking about it. Like, this is a Bungie that I like. This is the Bungie that I want. Stay this way, Bungie. This is what I want. And then finally, the quality of the rewards don't match the difficulty of the activity. I think the feedback around Raid Layer, and then also, like, Heroic Strikes, that's a big deal. Getting, like, 340, 345 gear from a 360 activity. The one thing that they didn't mention here that I think they probably could have mentioned is Nightfalls. Because Nightfalls are kind of also go alongside, like... Nightfalls and Heroic Strikes are both being talked about a lot. When you talk about Heroic Strikes, you tend to mention, at least offhandedly, Nightfalls. But, I mean, they're helping Heroic Strikes, and I think that's the primary issue. That's the thing they need to work on first. And then I love this. Send me images of your favorite shader and Escalation Protocol gear combos. Like, this doesn't have anything to do with what I just said. Just send them to me. I'll leave a link to the This Week at Bungie in the description, so go do that. Go send them pictures. Please. Going for glory. And then they answer some questions about the glory rank. And here's another great example of what I'm talking about with this new Bungie. Not only are they mentioning that they're talking about stuff, not only are they saying we understand and we're not just listening, but we know and we're understanding and we're working on solutions. They're straight up answering literal questions that are being asked. Why would I match against a player with higher glory rank than me? For a variety of reasons. We don't match directly on your glory number, instead using our per playlist skill value. It's quite likely your opponent is a good match against you, but they've been running glory more consistently, so have moved up the ranks faster. Take this as a sign you'll likely reach that rank with continued play. They straight up answered the question. It's literally a Q&A sequence. If you want to know more about the glory, I haven't really done any competitive, so I don't know. I don't feel confident in answering or talking about any of these questions, but just read this, pause and read it all, or go to the link in the description for This Week at Bungie, for the TWAB. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, we saw this picture up at the top. We'll head back down. An Iron Banner! Saladin returns with updated rewards starting this coming Tuesday. That's 5 days away from the day that I'm recording this, so probably like 4 or 5 from the day I post it. The game is control. Hallelujah. Just keep giving us control, and I will always forever be happy. The ways in which players earn rewards have also been updated for Season 3. So in other words, Saladin, good old Salad Bar, is giving us the same reward structure that we see from Vanguard and Crucible now. Well, not Crucible, Vanguard. Crucible has to do with the Glory and Valor ranks. Vanguard, where you give him tokens, he ranks up, and you see this guy's like 35. Dadgum. It's a lot of playing. But you can see the ornaments down there, and all these, so there's an ornament, which is good. Wait, are those ornaments? They look like ornaments. They look like different ornaments. That's interesting. I'm just now realizing that. I read this earlier, I swear. But then you can see the new weapons and an emblem and a ship. And Salad Bar's looking real nice, fancy there. Here's a closer look at all the new weapons. We'll take a little bit of a closer look. Got a sniper, which looks awesome. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's Suros? A Suros style, and this is a Suros, definitely. This is Vice auto rifle. Don't know about the submachine gun, either Hake or Suros. This is Suros hand cannon, and this, I want to say Hake? I don't know, but they look cool. They definitely look nice. I like that new style of like the wavy things. And then the real grind, the epic looking ornaments. I mean, I'm just gonna let you look at that for a little while. Like, that looks amazing. The Titan, wow. I love the Warlock. I think the Warlock is definitely my favorite. That helmet looks so slick. The helmet looks so slick. And, like, the Hunter's little wings on the side of his cape. Like, I'm kind of sad that the cape isn't a little bit longer. Like, just a little teensy bit longer. But other than that, the Hunter looks pretty slick. I think the Warlock's chest is a bit under... Like, it looks a bit... Like, there's not any actual symbols. It's just a bunch of lines. And the Titan class item is kind of like... okay. Like, it's just... It's like the one for the... Oh, the Ikora set, whatever that's called, the Noble Constant set, I believe, where it's kind of basically like a little fancy diaper, like more so than the normal Titan class items. But other than that, like the helmet here, and the wings on the class item for the Hunter, like that looks amazing. I'm just gonna leave this whole long rant in the video because I love this armor. I'm gonna be grinding my butt off for it all. Okay, and at your fingertips, this is not quite as exciting as the above, if I'm completely honest, but they're talking about the Destiny 2 companion app and Bungie, or Bungie.net website. They're basically talking about how, like, they started a discussion on Bungie.net and Reddit, which, I mean, Reddit. I'm scared now. They mentioned Reddit, and I'm very scared. But, anyways, they started a discussion to get feedback on the Destiny companion app and Bungie.net. So, like, first here they have stats and or medals, which is basically just being able to look at how many Crucible medals you get. Like, you know, if you even know what those are. Like, the little things that pop up, like, whenever you do something cool in the Crucible, like, there's ones for double kills and triple kills and all that. And then, like, medals for avenging, like, the Avenger medal or whatever. And, you know, there's medals and stats and stuff for all that. And they're looking into being able to add all those stats to be able to just look at in the app, which will be really nice. It'll be very nice. They are looking into upgraded LFG, which is going to be very nice if they can do it well. If it's a well done LFG, I'd still obviously prefer it to be actually in game, but hey, you know. LFG, vendor accessibility and primary user experience, which is basically just a long paragraph about them talking about, like, oh, nobody's actually looking at the vendors in our app. Like, it's super hidden behind the progress, which is a really weird place for vendor accessibility to be. Like, why? So they're going to change some of that, make it easier to see that stuff, which is nice. And they're mentioning combining, merging the Explore and Progress tabs. So, you know, that time frame is sometime in the summer. So just cool. You know, they're updating the app. They're not ignoring the app. And then finally, a few hotfix notes talking about known issues. The heroic strikes. So you can just look at this. Go ahead and pause and read all that if you want. Just a bunch of updates like, hey, we know this stuff is a problem. So, you know, you can just look at this. You can pause and read it if you'd like, or just go down to the TWAB. Just a bunch of fixes. But, and then the movies of the week. I haven't actually looked at those. I should probably look at those. Here's Redeem's Raid Lair Completion. I'm not gonna play any of these because you need to go to the TWAB and look at them. I'm not gonna ruin your experience. I'm not gonna ruin the clicks. Come on. And finally, I think it's finally. Yeah, that's the last part. They had they had a few DCP. They had a Bungie versus, which if you don't know anything about that, I'm sorry, but it was awesome. So I just kind of sped through that last stuff, I'm sorry. But basically there were two things I wanted to talk about. This stuff, because it looks freaking amazing, and I'm gonna look away before I get on another tangent. And the fact that Bungie is listening, guys. Like, we know it now. I'm pretty sure most people who are actively watching the game, even if they don't actively play it, they know that, yes, Bungie are listening. The question is whether or not they're going to do anything about it. Well, they are. And they're proving with this is definitive proof that not only are they listening, but they are understanding, talking, and acting. And I just feel it's important that everybody know that, because I look at, like, Twitter and Reddit and all these popular, or not even popular, all these just people, like, disparaging Bungie for not having a perfect game. And granted, they're having a lot of issues. Destiny 2, when it first came out, had a lot of problems. Christopher Chavez did in health matters, but Warmind and everything that surrounded Warmind is, as cliche as it is, and as overused as the sentence is, a step in the right direction. And Bungie needs to keep doing that. And this is my feedback, is basically what this whole video is. I'm doing two things. Three things. One, I'm ranting about how awesome the Iron Banner armor is. Oh my goodness. Two, I wanted you guys, not the Bungie people, if you're a Bungie person watching right now, hi, but I'm talking to the players, which granted you are players, but I'm getting off a tangent now. The people who do not work at Bungie and who play this game know that Bungie are listening, because they are. It's important to understand that, because if you don't think that they're paying attention, you're not gonna feel like you're doing anything. You're not gonna feel like your tweet or your Reddit post is gonna mean anything. For me, it's YouTube videos. You're not gonna. If I didn't think they were listening, I wouldn't have any incentive to post videos critiquing the game, except for just clicks, because I wouldn't feel like my post would do anything. But it will, and it does. Yeah, that's questionable for my content, but it will. So, talk about the game, critique the game, and Bungie, keep it up, because you're doing good. That's it. This is a really weird freeform video. Just keep it up, Bungie. You're doing a great job, and you're listening, and you're talking about it, and you're acting. So, keep it up. I've been Tora. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.